Marquita from Evergreen RV Adventures, RV Rentals and Outdoor Experiences. And I want to introduce you all to Fern, our newest member of the fleet. She is an R-Pod 193, the newest mid-year model. We're going to do a full walkthrough of the RV and all of its features. Here is the automatic tongue jack. To operate it, it seems a little backwards. You press up for it to go down, you press down for it to go up. If you happen to be coming to your campsite at night, there is a light there underneath which really comes in handy. Letting your jacks down for stabilization, remember that they're just for stabilization. They should touch the blocks and then just a half a turn more. You should never raise the RV with the leveling jacks. Propane tank is here outside of the rig. It is a single propane tank. And actually, I'll take it loose so you can see exactly what it looks like. It's a little bit bigger than your standard propane tank at home. And in another video, I'll show you all how you can figure out where the levels are. But all you would need to do with the cover on is just twist it to open it. You'll hear it, and then you'll know that it's on. You always want to do a walk around of your site. Make sure that everything is nice and flat. As you see, we have our stabilizing jacks down. We have your wheel chocks that are in place. We're going to come around to this side, and I've already double checked to make sure that our power is good to go. You're letting out your slide. Make sure that you have plenty of space for it to come out fully. You never want to stop it midway, so make sure that you have enough space to let out the slide before you ever extend it. We've already also pulled out the slide. We made sure that we had enough space for the slide and that there are no obstructions here. Down here outside at the back of the rig is a storage bay. This is where we keep the supports for the black tank hose. We also keep the fresh water hose, it's a little bit of a tan color is the short one. This longer one is the longer hose. And then right behind it is the black tank hose. You'll know that it's black because my girls like to say that it looks like a snake. So this is where all of your quick things are when you load up. It is also where the power cord goes when you are getting everything ready to go. The black tank hose is kept here. This is where it's stored, so you don't have to worry about getting gunk on you. You just feed it in there, and you put the cap on securely. There it is in there. When you're done, you put the cap back on so you don't lose it. Make sure you always do that with gloves or wash your hands thoroughly. So we've already have our power hooked up. Now we're going to hook up our fresh water. You'll know that it's fresh water because it's a white hose with a blue line down it, and this has a regulator on it. This regulator goes on your water hose, and it ensures that if you have really high water pressure at your campsite, that it's not going to burst the pipes in your rig. So I always have this connected, and then we're going to connect this. You can connect it one of two ways. You can connect this in directly to your rig so that you don't affect too much of your water pressure, or you can connect it directly to the spigot. So here you have your water connections. Up here, this is you would use if you're boondocking, which is not allowed with our rentals, but then if this is your rig, this is where you would fill up your fresh water. Just goes there. But if you're at a campground, this is your city water connection, which is where you plug this in. It's easy to do, although it seems a bit complicated. The easiest way is just to press the hose directly in and then let the twist function on the RV do all of the work. So you're not having to twist your hose a whole bunch. Make sure that your connections are nice and tight. This on the regulator, depending on which regulator you have, may freely turn. Know that it's still tight, but make sure all of your other connections are tight. You will know because water will go spraying everywhere. The other thing that some people use is they put a filter on their water hose so that way they have filtered water coming through. One important thing to note is that you want to check your water before you ever hook up. You want to make sure that the water is flowing well, the water isn't brown or anything gross is coming out of it, and that it has a good flow. Now we're going to go ahead and connect it. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. And we're going to slowly turn on our water. We're going to see that from here to the rig that the hose is filling up. We're going to follow with our eyes to make sure that there's no water spraying. Once we're confident that we have a good connection, there's no water spraying, we will slowly continue to turn it. There it is. Now you'll want to go inside of your rig and double check and make sure that everything is connected the right way. An important part that is not so key in an R pod, but still important, is ensuring that you don't have any obstructions for your steps. So that way when you're stepping in and out, it's nice and level. When we're in a site like this, I like to put our pad or our mat down so that it's nice and flat, and it also keeps dirt out of your rig. We'll do that later. So you'll go ahead and open your door. You'll see what fell out from your trip if you didn't do everything correctly. And the first thing that I do here in the R pod, here is where your control panel is. As you can see here, you have your awning buttons, your slide button, your awning outside for the lights, your porch light, and your interior light. So the first thing I do is turn on the interior lights. The next thing that I do is I come over here and I turn on the AC. The AC is in the back of the unit, and you use the space bar. You press it until it gets to the setting that you would like. When we went to the dealership, he told us to keep it on high. It is very loud, just to let you know. The next thing that I do is I turn on the refrigerator. It is currently empty. But what you'll do up here, you'll notice that it has auto or gas, on or off. We keep it on auto when we're traveling and there's food in it. So I'm just going to turn it on. It's on auto. And remember that this is an RV refrigerator and freezer, and so it's going to take time for it to cool down in there. Now coming back into your front door, I want to give you a little bit of an overview of some of the things right here at the front door. So right above your control panel, you have your radio system. Here where it says mute, you'll see a small tiny power button. You just turn it on, it says welcome. Anything that's in red means that it's not on. So make sure that you connect your Bluetooth. It's really easy to do. You can also listen to AM, FM. You can plug in an auxiliary, and it also takes USB. Zone 1 is inside, Zone 2 is outside. Now here's the most important things when you are camping. These are your indicator lights. So here at the top, along with the button, is the gray, which is empty, black, which should also be empty when you return it, fresh water, which stays empty, and then there are your battery levels. If this is a wintertime rental, typically you would use these in the winter. This will be your water heater. Although it has an electric water heater, it also can run on propane. And this is your water pump, which should never be used because currently we don't allow our rigs to be boondocked with. But if this is your own personal rig, then this is where you would use your water pump. Inside of the rig, you'll notice when you first come in the front door is that there is a very large seating area. It can sit 3 adults comfortably, and you're probably wondering, well, where in the world is the other bed? That's the cool part about this rig, is that the bed is behind here, and I'll show you that in just a second. You have storage that's underneath here, and when the dealers do their videos, they'll make it seem like it's really easy to get into, but it is not. It's almost a 2-person job because these nets straight from the manufacturer are really hard to get into. So you kind of have to half jack the sofa in order to put things, but there is quite a bit of storage underneath there. And then what you'll do is you'll lift up and you'll kind of watch it fall backwards, and then you'll lean it all the way down. That is step 1 to getting your bed down. The TV is in the worst position. If you notice here, there is the bed and then there is the TV. So you'll have to pull the TV out, away from the wall and out of the way in order to be able to get the bed down without bumping it. If you forget this crucial step, the TV will remind you when you run into it. Now I'm going to let the bed down. All right, so now for unlatching the bed, it is It's a little awkward, not gonna lie. So there is a latch here. So you just push it back a little bit, pull the latch out, and this whole thing falls down. One important note that the manufacturers and dealers don't tell you: there are lots of outlets in this RV. There are the standard ones here, and then there are USB ones here. They're also over here on the other side of the bed. The funny, not so funny part is that if you are a person who wants to lounge in the middle of the day and you don't want your bed down, if you have anything plugged in here, you have to unplug it. So this means if you maybe bring your Wi-Fi router with you or something else, it's gonna run right into it. We discovered that on our first camping trip and it was pretty annoying. So make sure that you have whatever you're gonna plug in, leave it out until you have your bed set up, but know that if you wanna sit on the sofa later, you're gonna have to unplug whatever it is. And then this is your mattress. It is a fold over mattress. So this mattress, you just fold it over. Ours is already pretty much made up. Again, if we were delivering it for Evergreen RV Adventures, we'd have it all nice and pretty. Here you have your shades. Once you have the bed back in place, you can put your TV in place. It swivels nicely so that the whole family can watch it in the living room, or you can watch it in this bedroom area. If you aren't quite sure how to use these type of shades, they're really easy. Just stick your hand underneath and push up. When you're ready to take it down, you just pull down. Easy peasy. This is storage in the R pod. Through our rentals, we have it empty. But if this is your personal rig, you should just know that there's plenty of space. You can store clothes up here, extra bags up here. It's a decent amount of room and it goes pretty deep back. Now I'm going to show you all the sofa here that also turns into a bed, but we don't advertise this as a sleeping bed is because, quite honestly, and I'll show you all in a minute, I don't think that an adult can comfortably sleep on this. So this is the table that comes with the rig. You can take this table and have it outside. We set it up right here and have dinner on the days that we're inside when it's raining. These, as a word of caution, are trash. They do not work well. Everything is really flimsy on this, and so if you try to put a drink here and you've got kids that are rambunctious, oops, now the drink is everywhere. So I would not recommend putting your drinks in these. They're a little bit of a nuisance, but they're there. And so the sofa can fit 2 adults comfortably, can fit a couple kiddos, and it works just like the other jackknife sofa. You reach down in the bottom, you lift it up, the back falls back, and it lays down flat. Now, the reason why I say that this is probably not suitable for an adult, and I am 5'3", 5'4" on a good day, and this is how much I hang over. I feel like a basketball player. So I would not lay here. A kiddo could definitely lay here. 2 kiddos could maybe lay here. An adult, I don't think so. Whenever you want it up for seating, you fold it up, you grab the back, and there it is. The R pod has more storage here. You'll see some of the things that we store here. It's our vacuum cleaner. If you rent from us, we have full silverware and other things. It's a decent sized kitchen for a small unit. This is only 20 feet. Reminder. And so it's a really fully equipped kitchen. You have a 2-burner stove. This lifts up whenever you're cooking with it. And to give you a demonstration, so once you've arrived at your campsite, we will have already done this for you, but if you're an owner, this is what you do. There you go. You have propane. Now you can turn it down to whatever level you need it to be on. Know that you will need your striker every single time that you're going to want to cook. And there we go. This is the sink. It's one round sink. It's pretty deep. Fresh running water in your rig. This flops around, and it's hard to know where it goes. Sometimes it does fly off in transit. This is a convection microwave oven, so you can bake in it as well as use regular microwave functions. I had never actually used a convection oven before, so I was really confused, but it's basically the same settings that you would use for a microwave. So if you're wanting to just cook something for 30 seconds or a minute, you can press the 1 minute button and it works just like a microwave. If you want to use the convection or grill options or roast, then those are also available and they're in the user manual. This is the fridge. It's a Dometic 2-door refrigerator. The freezer is pretty decent sized. You can fit quite a bit of things in there for a camping trip. An important thing to remember about RV refrigerators is that you never want to crowd them. We have to actually clean this unit. It just came back from a trip, but you have to remember not to crowd these areas and don't overfill them, or the air won't be able to circulate because it's not like your standard home refrigerator. Over here is another pantry that goes pretty deep. Here are the bunks. Have a weight limit of 300 pounds. It works really well for small children. The only thing that we've noticed as owners is that it is hard to figure out where to put your hands. And also we figured out, as someone who rents these out, where do we put a grab handle? And that has been hard to figure out as well. So for right now, we've just climbed up and kind of grab onto the sides, but it is something to consider when you have littles. They may not be able to get up here unassisted, which can be difficult when it's time to go to the restroom. Each of the bunks have a light, and they also have USB ports. They also each have a window. Now let's head over into the bathroom. It is actually a spacious bathroom for those of you who are claustrophobic. Again, I am 5'4", and yes, I can touch the ceiling, but my head is nowhere near it, and I can extend both of my arms and touch the walls. Now, I will make it a minimal complaint because other RPods are wet baths, which means that the shower and the bathroom are the same, and they're very small. So let me show you how this works. Here on this side is your hot water. This is your cold water. You turn away to turn the water on. You turn towards to turn it off. Now, if you want to turn on the shower, there's two important things. Here on the shower curtain, it's Velcroed and screwed into the wall. We do sanitize it and take it off, but while you have it, you'll need to just unvelcro it. Pull the shower curtain. This here indicator will tell you when there's hot water coming into it. It'll start to turn white. And so that's how you'll know. This system recycles the water, so you're not wasting a bunch of water. You'll get your water the temperature that you want it. Be mindful that this water does get pretty hot. Then you're gonna lift it up just like a bathtub. This right here, you lift it up. This is how it should be when it turns it on. This is a water saving feature because with this particular shower head. This is when you're soaping up your body. RV showers are not meant for super long, luxurious showers. These are military showers. So this is the setting it should be on when you first turn it on and when you're soaping up. Now I'm going to pull it down just for demonstration purposes so we don't get everything soaking wet. This button right here is your, I would say, like your yellow and green button. So it doesn't ever turn the water all the way off, but if you press it this way, there you go. That's soaping up, and then you rinse. And then you push this down, turn the water off, and voila, shower's done. This is also doubles as the sink, which can be really difficult to use for small humans. You also have to step in. If you're not tall enough, you'll have to step in, which can make your shower pretty muddy. But you can wash your hands here. Water will go all over the place, but at least it has a sink because a lot of rigs this size do not have sinks at all. Also, something about RV showers is that you're going to notice that when you're taking a nice hot shower, that everything is going to fog up. In the bathroom, outside of the bathroom. So turn on the fan. So first, this little button or this little knob, you want to twist it. It's going to start letting open the vent up here. It's important to let that all the way up because if not, the fan will not turn on. Over here are the buttons. You have your fan on button, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on and off. So we're going to turn it on. And then there you go. the fan. It'll help serve as an exhaust. Also, if you're using number 2 and you don't have poop spray, this also helps. This toilet is a standard plastic toilet. It is a push to flush and easy peasy. Check out our other video for how to use an RV toilet. Another cool feature that I want to show you guys with this RPod, every system has a intervac built in, but you do have to buy the piece separate for you other owners out there. We do have it here in the rig for you to vacuum with, but we also give you a broom. And this really cool system is you just sweep all of your trash here, and then with the flip, you just sweep it in there. Then you don't have to worry about sweeping it out into the front of your campsite. It gets swept in there, and then we deal with it when you bring it back. When you're staying in the RV, it's really important that you know where all of the emergency exits are. Here on the RPod 193, it's on this big window. So if you were in an emergency, you would lift it up. You can't miss it. It's a big exit sign. You would pull up each of these red tabs and you would push out. Don't worry, it doesn't fall out, but it does give you enough space to get out in the event of an emergency. Also, your fire extinguisher is right here by the front door. If you need additional information on how to use the fire extinguisher, be sure to check the manual. It also has instructions on the side. We check them regularly. And then, of course, the front door is always an exit for an emergency. Make sure that you go over your emergency plan with your family. Alright, so I'm going to show you all how to extend the awning, and something that's really important. So again, the awning button is right here. It says awning. You press up to extend, down to retract or let in. Something important to note is that this door can never be opened all the way. And you may be saying, Marquita, why not? Because the awning cover is right here and it will run into it. So if you're going to have your door open, make sure it's only open halfway. Once you ensure that it's clear, then you can press the extend button. This is also an important time to remember and note where you have trees if you're at a site that's very woodsy. Also remember that you should never have your awning out when it is raining because the winds are typically high. And also when the winds are high, the wind can snatch these off in an instant. They also hold water, so make sure if it starts raining or it gets windy that you go ahead and let in your awning. It's better to be safe than sorry. When you are letting in the awning, make sure that your door is halfway open before you hit the retract button, so that way your awning doesn't bump your door, as it closes in right over there. So now I'm going to show you one of the cool features that come with our rig, but actually with any RPod 193, and it's the grill. It lives here in the basement. And so the first thing that we're going to pull out is actually the table. So the table can be used independently of the grill. You might want to wipe it down because it has been in the basement. And what you're going to do is right here next to the front door, you'll have a little lip here on the table. You'll notice that it has a connecting hook. So you just lift a little bit up and then down. If you notice that your things are sliding off, just adjust the bottom. Now let's get out the grill. So the first part of the grill that you're going to bring out is this little doohickey. It's actually folded up, and what you'll want to do is unfold it. It has springs. And what I like to do when I'm grilling is actually install this table towards the door, and I install my grill right here, and I'll show you why. So it's the same process. You put it there, let it slide down. Got these really handy bumpers so you don't have to worry about it tearing up your RV. Now we're going to go get the actual grill out. You're probably wondering, how in the world is that going to fit on there? But it has a really cool stop system so that way it doesn't fall off. So what I like to do is take off the griddle portion, set it to the side. That way it's much lighter to handle. You're going to line it up so that the holes go there. Don't slide it all the way on. You'll want to line up both sides. You're going to slide it back until it completely stops. And you may have to do a little bit of jiggling. It'll naturally stop. Next, really important part is you're going to want to put these in place as they stop the grill from sliding forward. Okay, you're going to put those in on both sides. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is connect the gas using the quick connect gas connection. Let me go get the hose. It's inside on our rig in the closet. So this is your quick connect propane connector, and it literally is quick. Takes no time. The first thing that you're going to want to do is connect it to the back of your grill. You're going to take this end, you're going to slide back the black portion. You're going to connect it with it still slid back there. You're going to push that forward and then push this little stopper in place. See, now it's in there nice and secure. Then you're going to take your hose. This is a personal preference, like to stick it underneath there so it's not in the way. Then you're going to come down here underneath your rig. You can't miss it. It's a blue connector, and it's the same quick connect system. So you push this back, connect them together, slide it forward, and then you use the lever. Now let's see if our grill is ready to operate. For this operation, you see that it's pointing to off. You press it in and turn. There we go. You can adjust it up or down. It's an important thing to note, if you see that the gas is in this H shape, I've noticed that these are a little bit of hot spots, so just be mindful when you're cooking, you may need to move things around. So now you're going to want to turn it off now that you verified that your gas works, and you're going to connect your griddle. Make sure that you wash your griddle. It's been, again, in the basement. This is really easy to connect. There's holes that are there, and voila, your cooking station is complete. Here you also have your grease trap, your cook space. Your grease will easily drip down into there, and you're ready to go. Easy peasy camping at the campsite. To disconnect the LP gas from your grill, you're going to release this lever, pull back all the way. You're going to come here underneath the rig and do the same thing. You're going to release the lever. That's right there. You're going to push it back with your finger, release, and make sure to put the cap back on. That's it. So to remove all of these things, just lift up, and then you'll just put this in. You'll bring it over here, put it in the basement. Now to detach the grill, you'll take out the pins. And you'll slide it back. You'll take this to the basement. It would usually have the pan on top, but we're cleaning that. Now with this last step, it's really lightweight, so you can do this one of two ways. I like to just push it in here on the bottom. This little washer, you push it in. Hold on. Let's take it over here to the table. All right, to compress this down, you push the pins in and you lay it down. You take this and you also put it in the basement. I'm going to show you all the outdoor shower. So it is the port that is right next to the thing labeled black tank flush. You lift it up. It looks like something shouldn't go in. This is the port that goes in. It's another one of those quick connects. So you're just going to push it in, turn. You'll hear it make a little noise. You have water. All right, and to disconnect the outdoor shower, you're going to hold here. There is a silver knob. You're going to push back. It might be a little pressurized, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching this walkthrough of our 2021 RPod 193, also affectionately known as Fern. If you have any additional questions or want to learn more information about booking, you can find us on the web at www.evergreenrvadventures.com. You can also find us on Instagram at Evergreen RV Adventures and also on TikTok at Evergreen Adventures. We'll see y'all out on the road. Bye now.